KOMU8's Lauren Bale has been following the story for us all day and joins us now live outside the home. Lauren, what can you tell us?
A SWAT team, state troopers, the sheriff's department, and local police began firing these torpedoes filled with tear gas into the house around 11:30 this afternoon in an attempt to end the standoff safely. And finally, the aid comes here to farmers whose stables have been reduced to nothing but piles of metal and wood. Westies used to watch those bombs fall from right here where he operated this machine gun. He says the experience is hard to forget. Around 7:30 this morning, nearly 500 people here at the R.R. Donnelly plant in Jefferson City learned that come October, they'll be unemployed. Well, everything started right here early this morning. Boone County Sheriff deputies say that Alexander Sells was driving drunk when he skidded across the bridge right here and crashed his truck. We are 6 hours away from Obama's speech, and already people are camping out, sitting in lawn chairs, and braving this heat for the chance to run through those doors and get a good spot to hear President Obama speak. The game starts bright and early tomorrow, and we'll see if those Tigers can actually dunk a gator. Reporting live in Columbia, Lauren Bale, KOMU8 News.
Missouri is the meth production capital of the nation. Law enforcement officers say that the state does not do enough to make sure homeowners clean up after a bust. KOMU8's Lauren Bale joins us now in the studio with more on why authorities say it's a dangerous situation.
Law enforcement officers tell me it's the property owner's responsibility to make sure a former meth lab has been properly cleaned. Without regulations on how to clean that property, homeowners are left guessing and worrying they're living in a house contaminated by hazardous chemicals. Chloe is like most other little girls, except her mom says she made a shocking discovery when she was pregnant with her.
I went home over my birthday weekend, and when I came back from visiting my parents, my daughter's father was acting kind of strange. A friend of mine said he had stopped by on my birthday weekend and that my daughter's father was manufacturing drugs in the house.
Chloe's mother, Katie, did not want to show her face on camera. She told me she was even more shocked when she learned Missouri has no laws and regulations regarding the cleanup of homes used to produce methamphetamine, a production process that can leave behind potentially lethal chemical residues.
Called the police department, let them know, waited. I believe it was 2 or 3 hours, and I had to call them twice just to get them to come. And when they finally did get here, I asked them if there was a hazmat team to clean up, and they said, just vacuum and wash down your walls. And that was the best advice they had to give me.
That's because in Missouri, it's not the responsibility of police or government officials to make sure a house is properly cleaned.
It's actually the homeowner's responsibility, or landlord, whomever is actually responsible for the household.
The Missouri Department of Health suggests a former meth lab be cleaned by an environmental company trained in hazardous substance cleanup, but it's not required. Law enforcement officers say that's a problem.
We do feel a frustration because we want to make sure that anybody that moves into our community will be safe and not in harm's way.
And harm could come to people living in a former meth lab that was not sufficiently cleaned.
There could be minute traces of that material still around. And if you have infants or toddlers or just young children that are curious about things, they're often putting things in their mouths. And that could possibly lead to some medical complications. So it could be very dangerous.
That danger is something that worried Katie.
It was scary. We just did our best to make everything the least toxic we thought it could be.
The lack of regulations for meth lab cleanup also puts future homeowners at risk.
It's a concern. I think that anybody that is looking to rent or purchase a place needs to be very vigilant and contact local authorities to see if possibly that was an address that had a meth lab.
And leaves current residents like Katie frustrated.
There just needs to be some sort of help, and people aren't getting it. They didn't tell me anything, and I asked, and I told them that I was pregnant, and it's like they didn't have any information, and there were 3 officers here, and none of them had any information.
The DEA does have a list of homes that have been used as meth labs. To see that list and find out if your home was ever a meth lab, visit our website, KOMU.com. After the deadly EF5 tornado hit Moore, Oklahoma, Jerry Stokes spent 2 hours searching for Michelle, the love of his life. They found each other, but they lost almost everything else, including their house and Michelle's beloved horse, Biscuit. More than 400 miles away from the devastation, the Windsor family in Columbia understood the loss the Stokes and thousands like them were facing. They immediately decided to do whatever they could to help out.
You can't get anywhere on the internet without seeing what's going on and how people are affected down there. And we thought, what could we do and who could we work through to help make sure that whatever we do goes to people that we feel that will, get the most out of it.
And so the Windsor family sent money and supplies to Red Earth Feed and Tack Shop in Oklahoma City. It's become the unofficial hub for the horses and owners affected by the twister.
So it's that kind of generosity that's just, I don't even have words. It's just amazing. It really is.
And finally, the aid comes here to farmers whose stables have been reduced to nothing but piles of metal and wood. The Stokes' horse was at one of these farms. They went to the stable just moments after the tornado to search for their pet.
All over the property there were animals that were either already dead or dying, and I've just never seen anything so heartbreaking.
Stokes says he and Michelle are the lucky survivors, and the disaster will not break them.
It's like anything else that life throws at you. You put your chin on your chest, you put your head down, and you walk into the wind, one step after another.
And in this sea of loss and destruction, the love and support from the nation helps to ease the pain.
Just people giving gifts and lending aid and breaking their backs and the sweat of their brows to try and help people get through it. Makes me proud to be an Oklahoman.
This week is all about waiting in line, waiting to get the golden ticket.
And a lot of planning. Definitely wanted to secure a ticket for today.
Yeah, what did you do to make sure that you had one?
Showed up at 6 a.m. and waited.
Waiting to get a good seat and waiting to view history.
I don't know, it's just the excitement of just to be here and to just see him and to actually be able to see one of the presidents that's actually in presidency during the time. I think that's like the biggest thing for me right now.
We are 6 hours away from Obama's speech, and already people are camping out, sitting in lawn chairs, and braving this heat for the chance to run through those doors and get a good spot to hear President Obama speak. They came out for different reasons. Pam Rafferty met former President Clinton and is eager to meet another commander-in-chief.
When he first got president, and I got to shake his hand, and it was really an exciting moment.
So you're hoping to shake Obama's hand today?
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
Renetta Godfrey is vice president of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, which has a connection to the president.
Our national leadership actually just talked to the president in Washington, D.C., and we all just got back from Washington, D.C. probably Sunday. So to have him there and then to be here, it's like, why not? So it was exciting to do it.
And Nicole Greider is excited to turn the president's speech into an educational tool.
I will be filming today and then using the film and the footage for our persuasive speaking, our informative speaking. So hopefully my students will get to learn from the master.
President Obama also mentioned Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill, saying that for her birthday present today, he took her for a ride on Air Force One. Reporting live in Warrensburg, Lauren Bale, KOMU 8 News.